In the Mail, Carrie, we've got Amanda Abbington.
Yes, this is a really interesting story.
Yeah, she's really speaking out, isn't she?
She's really stepped up. And so it says, tearful Amanda Abbington last night alleged she had suffered humiliating behaviour of a sexual nature on Strictly Come Dancing, and that since the reaction to her coming and speaking about this has been brutal and relentless and unforgiving. Her professional dance partner was Giovanni Pernice and... Piniche.
Yeah, he's Italian.
Yeah, Benice,
I mean, he's obviously been thrown off the show.
But she's had death threats for speaking up. She's not the only person who has said behind the scenes it's tough.
I think the tricky thing here is Amanda it's all being inquired into by the BBC, who I think will do a tough inquiry.
Yeah.
And she keeps jumping the inquiry with these comments. So let's have a look on Channel 4 News.
I've been triggered in that room by past experiences, and it still has a lasting effect on me. Like, I still can't talk about certain things that happened in that room because it immediately triggers a feeling of anxiety, and that's not right. The death threats and the rape threats towards not only myself but my daughter, and the threats of death to my son.
By what? By Strictly fans or?
And Giovanni fans.
It's an ugly scene.
I don't think this show can survive.
Really?
Honest to God, I don't. Do you remember when Top Gear was their biggest show? It was sold all around the world. The minute that you've started getting scandal allegations of potential physical assaults...
Clarkson punched a producer or whatever.
Well, exactly. But the minute that happens and the BBC have to inquire within themselves, it all collapse. I don't think this can survive, honestly. I just can't see it. It's now become so competitive.
But then nothing would survive, because bullying takes place in the workplace everywhere.
But does it become so public?
Yeah, there are loads of people who speak about bullying in the workplace.
On one of the most popular shows in the world.
This is, at the moment, we're seeing one dancer, and I think that...
Oh, wait, is it only one? I thought...
Well, hang on. There's two serious things. Giovanni has gone, and that's Amanda's case. Graziano admitted kicking Zara McDermott, and he's now apparently working on a pig farm in Sicily.
Yeah.
So he's gone as well.
Yeah.
So, but there's also loads of other stuff. I mean, I don't know what I genuinely, it's like your thing of 50-50. I'm watching it and I'm thinking, let's properly have an inquiry, because I think she is very upset and it's freighted with emotion. But you can't really judge the rights and wrongs based on that. And I think he's also not been able to say anything, really. I think people should stop trolling her for a start. I think that's really nasty. But I think you just want to hear all the facts. I'm amazed. She says there's 50 hours of footage.
I was about to say, if there's 50 hours of footage, surely some of that footage is giving evidence.
Surely.
If it's true, then it will be the evidence in her favour.
Interestingly, back in the day when Anne Widdecombe and co were on, they put a camera in the rehearsal room and it just rolled all day long. And then some poor producer would have to go back and log it and work out what to show at the weekend. When I did it in 2015, they decided that was just too much work. So they then had people arrive and say, all right, we're just going to spend 20 minutes with you. We're going to do a little film. You talk about what you're doing, do a few moves, and then they would go away. So we never had any sort of... we didn't have 50 hours of footage. There wasn't CCTV. It seems like they've gone back to the thing of putting the camera in the corner of the room. If Amanda's right, if they've got all that footage, surely we'd find out what was going on.
I think it also brings into question, because ballroom dancing like this it's a sport, isn't it? It's part sport, it's competition, and it's how these guys may have been brought up in the dance studio before they've got to celeb versions of this. Is this what happens in dance studios up and down the country? Is this the attitude and the culture of bullying, of like, if you don't get it right, you get kicked?
I totally agree with you. The professional wants to win, and if the professional thinks that the person they're dancing with is not trying hard enough, they get angry because they think somebody's going to win in place of them.
Believe me, the worst thing you could have on Strictly is where you arrive and the professional has decided, for whatever reason, either you're not going to win, or it's not their year, or they can't be doing with it, and they're not fully present, you know.
It could also be that the professionals are too empowered They're there to do a job. You know, when I was a vocal coach on a TV show, I did my job as a vocal coach. You know, if you are a coach, you're there. Of course, over the years, these guys have become huge stars themselves, haven't they? In those early days, that wasn't the case.
There's a statement by Giovanni Panice. He refutes any claim of threatening or abusive behaviour and is confident the review by the BBC will prove he didn't do anything wrong. And you know, there have been reports saying that the BBC will clear him. So that's another angle, because then he may be coming back on the show.